Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave. Welcome back to the wee hours, where I suffer from periodic bouts of insomnia and play games to pass the time. We are back with our bite-sized, unarmed survival mode edition of Fallout 4. Last episode, well, it took a couple of tries, but we did manage to finally take down the conquered Deathclaw with nothing but our fists. This episode, we're going to hook back up with Preston Garvey, report our success, and then escort him back to Sanctuary Hills. Preston and his gang will start toddling off in the direction of Sanctuary. It's built as an escort mission, but there's absolutely no reason to escort them for two reasons. One, they'll make it there by themselves without our escorting them or any interference on our part. And two, we've already killed everything between here and there, so we know it's perfectly safe for them to go down this road. What I'm going to do is hustle along and meet them up there. Back at Sanctuary, they're still a long way off. I hustled right up here. I've dropped off my power armor, obviously. I don't really need that right at the moment, and I don't want to keep burning through the fusion cores. I noticed I am a little parched, but that's fine. We can take care of that really easily with our handy-dandy water pump right here, and I am properly hydrated. Off camera, I did some pre-arrival scrapping of Sanctuary Hills. I didn't take it down to the ground, but I got most of it. And a couple of things to note that I did off-screen. I did go in and get the Your Special book from underneath Sean's crib here, which is usually, well, wrong house, but wrong area anyway. But long story short, grab the Year Special book. That is, of course, a free +1 to any special stat, and I took that in strength, so I bumped my strength up 1 point. I want to get that going as close as possible to 10 as soon as we can get there. Basically, I want to get it up to 10 and then go get the strength bobblehead, so that'll give me a base strength of 11. One thing I almost forgot to grab was the Grognak, which is right here. Critical hits with unarmed and melee attacks permanently do plus 5% damage. That will, of course, be very handy to me. And the nice thing about the Grognak skill magazines, Grognak skill magazines, is I find those are some of the easiest ones to find. You can get a bunch of those really easily. And I see Preston is rolling in with his gang. Yep, okay, all the gang's here. That's great. We're going to deal with that in a second, but there's kind of something that we need to do first, and that's going to be off in this direction. Okay, so I am heading over towards those pylons over there. There's some bloat flies right over on that little island over there. If I can avoid them, that would be great. And I think I'll just take a little bit of rads, hopefully not too much, just to kind of sprint through here quickly. Okay, a little bit of rads, not too bad. I'd like to avoid anything that I can in terms of fighting. I'm just way too flimsy right now to be fighting even bloat flies. Which actually kind of leads me to a point about this build that I've been thinking of, is that I'm going to want to be playing this as sneaky, as stealthily, as avoiding fights as... Okay, speaking of avoiding fights, there's a dog right ahead of me. 2 dogs right ahead of me. Okay. All right, let's just try and see if we can sneak around them. Not that this is any sort of permadeath run. Obviously, I'm going to be healing, of course. This is not a you only live once run. But I'm going to want to be avoiding as many fights as it's humanly possible to do. That's where, although I have no love for Preston Garvey, and if you want to feel my hatred for Preston, go check out the long-form No Preston run that is also running on this channel right now. But what I desperately need is Mama Murphy. The drug-addled old bag is going to be really important to me, because if I keep feeding her drugs, she's going to enable me to skip 2 tough fights that are going to come up down the road. And as we get to them, we'll kind of cover those. So, snuck past the dogs and made it to Abernathy Farm, which is just down the street from Sanctuary. While I'm here, I will see if I can grab the quest from Mr. Abernathy, if I can just find him. Yep, right in front of me. Great.
Close enough, stranger. We're a peaceful farm. We don't want any trouble.
Believe me, sir, neither do I. I want no trouble from you at all.
It's okay.
Blake Abernathy gives us the quest to retrieve the locket in USAF Olivia, which is a satellite dish basically that-a-ways, sort of heading off in that direction. Relatively close by to Sanctuary. I was planning on heading in that direction anyway, but having a quest to go there will make it all the more viable. Obviously, I think anyone who's played survival mode will tell you the one thing you do want to be is efficient. You want to make as few journeys as possible. So if I'm heading in that direction anyway, I may as well grab his quest. That's not the reason we're here, though. We're here to steal his crops. I just want to take all of the Abernathy's tato plants, which they have no problem with me doing. No problem. It's not stealing.
Good luck against those raiders.
Yep, thank you.
Hopefully, you won't need it.
I won't need... Well, I do need the luck, Mr. Abernathy, but more importantly, I need your crops. I'm just going to take all the tatoes for me. All the tatoes are going to go live over in Sanctuary. Because what's going to happen when we get back to Sanctuary is Sturgis is going to give us a whole bunch of housekeeping tasks. Largely, it's one big tutorial on settlement building. Although, as much as I love settlement building, we're going to do the very minimal, least possible to Sanctuary Hills. It's in survival mode, it's completely useless. The sooner you can get away from Sanctuary Hills, the better. And let's be sneaky, because those dogs are still going to be around. So let's see if we can just sort of backtrack the way we came and avoid them. I think if I go up that hill, I should be able to avoid them. So back to Sanctuary Hills. It's a useless settlement for survival mode. It offers you no benefits at all. It's a pain in the neck to get into and out of. And even into the early mid-game, you have no particular reason to come back here. So we're going to be doing the very bare minimum. But one thing Sanctuary does not have is many crops planted. There's not enough food there. So a quick trip over to the Abernathys will give us all the potatoes we need for the settlers, not losers, settlers at Sanctuary Hills. All I gotta do is keep Mama Murphy alive. Well, until I kill her by giving her drugs. But, largely keep her alive until then. She's the only thing that I want out of Sanctuary. So sneaky. Yep, the dogs have no clue that I am here. Going to avoid the bloat flies that are right over there. I definitely feel this is going to be avoiding as many fights as I possibly can in this build. I'm going to be super, super flimsy, even into the mid-game. So this is going to be more about stealth, about avoiding things, and when I do have to pick a fight, it better be a sneak attack, as we learned with the Deathclaw in the last episode. It better be a sneak attack, because that's the only chance I got. So I definitely see going further into the sneak perk, further into Blitz. Obviously, we'll want Blitz 2 as soon as that becomes available, and into Ninja. Absolutely Ninja. All right, I don't know why I'm sneaking anymore. I should be totally safe at this point. Let's hook up with Sturgis and get his housekeeping tasks done.
By the way, if you want to help out around here at all, talk to Sturgis. I'm sure he'd be glad for all the help he can get.
I hate you, Preston. I hate you. I love your companion perk, and I haven't completely ruled out trying to get that, but, dear Lord, I hate you. All right, I am tired and hungry. And I don't have a lot of cooked food on me. Let's see what I've got kicking around here. Oh, that Deathclaw steak. I hate to eat that right away. Maybe I can get away with some rad roach. No. Still peckish. Oh, wow, I have to eat a lot of food. You know what? Dip into the potatoes a little bit. There we go. A little bit of rads, but it's worth it. All right, Sturgis. You are basically going to give me one large tutorial on settlement building, so let's get it out of the way. Okay, so I just slept through the night just to get my tiredness out of the way, put myself back to full hydration, and did a lot of pre-work before we even bothered talking to Sturgis, just so everything's out of the way and I don't need to keep going back and forth with him. I set up some very basic defenses over here, a couple of guard posts, one turret, and he's not on duty right now, but theoretically June Long is supposed to be manning these posts, largely because I hate him and I hope he gets shot. I took some of the potatoes that we just got from Abernathy Farm, planted all of those here, so the settlement has plenty of work. Marcy is manning the crops, and I hate her too. I hope she spends the rest of her days digging in the dirt. Put another water pump behind there too, so they have enough water, and went through and slapped some beds down in some of these empty houses. So if we go over to the crafting menu, we can actually see up top they have everything they need. They have 6 food, 6 water. They have 7 beds. Apparently I put more down than I needed to. And they have a defense of 9. That's absolutely not going to stop them from getting attacked, but it's what they need. It's what they're going to ask for. So I don't honestly care if they get attacked. They can be shot all day by super mutants. So long as Mama Murphy lives until I can get the information out of her, I'm good. So let's go chat with Sturgis and get his stuff out of the way.
I know I'm not.
Hi, Sturgis. What do you got for me?
You willing to do some work?
Already did it.
I guess I better get back to it. Take care now.
And that is Sanctuary completed, which is basically, as I said, a tutorial mission on settlement building. And I had already done the work, so we just blazed right through that. Sturgis is happy. They've got beds, they've got food, they've got water, they've got defenses. Although I see June Long is still not manning his post. We may have to have a word with him about that. So we had a level up last episode, and we just got one for dealing with bringing Preston back to Sanctuary. Let's just deal with those right now. Still too early for Iron Fist 2. One thing I want to do is get Blacksmith on sooner rather than later. So let's take that. And what can we do with either Sneak or Ninja? Sneak or Ninja? That is tough. I think... Oh, goodness. Let's go Sneak right now. Next one, we'll probably do Ninja, but we're going to take Sneak right at the moment. Just because I feel this is going to be a sneaky sort of run. And then a couple of last things to do. I want to take a look at the brass knuckles that we got and see what we can do with those. Yep, that's what I thought. With Blacksmith 1, I'm glad I took that. With Blacksmith 1, we can get that up to its maximum of bladed. That is also bleed damage, too. Puncturing is armor piercing. That's nice, but on basic damage, it's got to be bladed all the way. So, bladed knuckles, yes, please. Excellent. Good. And then one thing that happened while I was kind of looting the Conquered area on my way out that I did off screen is I came across a bowler hat. Right, bowler hat. Which is, I mean, the gas mask that I'm wearing is fine, but that's really only giving me rad resistance. This bowler hat will give me +1 endurance, and that is far more valuable. So bowler hat it is, and I look magnificent. That is amazing. Any opportunity to wear a bowler hat, and I'm into that. That's just definitely going to work out well. So I think that will do it for this week. We did a little bit of housekeeping. We got Preston back to Sanctuary. And now we have a decision to make. We could head in that direction and do USAF Olivia. Obviously, Preston wants us to go to 10 Pines Bluff, which is also in that direction. That's great. But we are running into a real problem with food. Food is becoming an issue. I have very little cooked food left. And, you know, the sort of prepackaged food is just rads all day. So we may have to have a think between this episode and the next episode if we're going to go over to 10 Pines Bluff via USAF Olivia, or if we're going to go deal with the food issue, and that's going to be further in that direction. But there's something over there that would work out real well for us. I'll have a little think about that. Until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we will see you next time.